What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Cook Motorsport YouTube channel. My name is Ashton. I am the owner and founder of Cook Motorsport, and this is...
Hey guys, my name is Landan. I'm the owner of Ledbetter Racing. Post videos probably about every once a week on Instagram. And so yeah, let's get started.
Absolutely. So if you follow my Instagram, if you follow my YouTube, you'll know I'm starting out. I'm a small channel, small page, and that's kind of what Landan is. But Landan, your content is centered around one sport, and what is that?
All right, so the sport that I absolutely love, the sport I've always been wanting to just learn more about and be in, obviously,
Right,
is a supercross / motocross.
absolutely. And so today, the video is going to be what is. So today, since I have Landan with me, and he is an avid motocross, supercross fan, I'm going to just ask you 5 questions. Is that
Okay.
cool?
Yes,
It's going to take a really long time. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to hopefully get some information out to the people watching. You ready?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. So obviously, I feel like it's the first and the most important question. What the heck is motocross?
Okay, so motocross is obviously, when you think of motocross, you think of dirt bikes.
Right.
So obviously, motocross, supercross is dealing with dirt bikes. So
Okay.
either that's freestyle, or usually when someone says supercross, they're into racing. Motocross can mean either freestyle motocross or racing motocross.
Okay, and
so-
what is the difference between freestyle and supercross?
Okay, so just freestyling is basically, let's say you go to a track or you go to some kind of freestyle event, which is
Right.
freestyle is tricks. It's doing multiple tricks and doing with scoring on your tricks and stuff
Okay.
like that. And FMX, if you look up FMX, you'll find that out quick.
Okay, awesome.
And Supercross is Supercross racing. If y'all know Eli Tomac, Jack Lawrence, Jason Anderson, Hunter Lawrence, there's a bunch of more riders out there. Chase
Okay.
Sexton.
And we'll
Yeah.
talk about those
Yes.
later on in the video. But that's the difference. FMX is your tricks, and I feel like that takes heart to do.
Oh, yes.
While as Supercross is more your racing. It still takes heart. It's still hard, which we're going to try to talk about some later. But that's your big difference. But motocross, when someone asks what is motocross, essentially what I'm gathering is you would just say it's a whole lot of fun. It's really awesome. It's adrenaline pumping, and it's a lot of dirt bikes.
Yes.
A lot of mud.
So the difference between Supercross and motocross is, in motocross, there's not a whole lot of doubles, triples, quads. It's motocross is usually, you'll say tabletops, step ups.
And explain to me what that is.
All right, so a tabletop is basically a jump that has a landing in the middle. Like if you miss the jump, you can still kind of land on top of it, right? And so
Okay.
instead of casing it, what they call casing is when you jump and you land on the other hill flat,
Okay.
and it's no fun. And so the thing is with motocross, it's more. I can't say more easier, but I can say that it's more of a, you got more of a cushion on
Okay.
motocross. That's all I'm saying. You got more of a cushion in motocross.
And so out of I guess motocross, FMX, and supercross, what is your personal favorite?
Okay, my personal favorite. What I do is I do motocross.
Okay.
So I would say my personal favorite is motocross, but what I love watching is supercross. I love watching supercross.
Okay. Awesome.
So
Okay. And so that's going to lead us into question number 2. And since you've already told us that your favorite is motocross, who's the GOAT of motocross in your opinion? Like, is it a good opinion? Like, is it unpopular, or is it very common? Everybody thinks about this guy.
okay, so everybody thinks about Jeremy McGrath, man. Jeremy McGrath is the GOAT of the king of supercross motocross. He is the top. I think he's got over 72 wins, multiple championships, and I want to say right below him, if y'all know Eli Tomac, he's a great racer.
Okay. And you mentioned him earlier.
I mentioned him earlier, and so Eli Tomac. Funny thing is he's just now coming from an Achilles injury.
Oh, wow.
But he's back now. But also, 2 races ago, if y'all watch Supercross, you'll know. 2 races ago, he just got another incident with hurting his thumb, and now he's having to have surgery. So
Okay, so
Eli,
that's some pretty significant injuries.
oh yeah. So Eli, he's trying to work himself back up.
Okay.
Before Eli had the Achilles injury, he was the GOAT.
He was the GOAT.
He was the king. He was winning all races basically, and he was doing really good. I want to say he just went straight into the divot of the next jump, and his foot just kind of slipped off the foot peg and just tore his Achilles, and so he was out for a while.
You hate to see that. And so for the people who don't know what motocross is, talking to Landan before we started filming, Jeremy McGrath, right?
Jeremy McGrath.
I feel like his like sports equivalent is Tom Brady.
Yes,
Kind of like talking to you, like he's got the championships to prove it. He's up in age. He's no longer racing, correct?
Right.
And so, but he is well known. He's still a fan favorite. And so I think of someone like Tom Brady. But then when I think of racing, and you may or may not know who this is, but I think of Formula One racer Sebastian Vettel. He was with multiple teams. He had multiple championships, lots of wins, lots of podiums. And all in all, when you think of someone who is one of the best in the sports, I think of Sebastian Vettel.
Okay.
And so we'll have to do another video where I talk about my interest. But for now, we're going to dive into some more questions. And I guess we'll just kind of pivot right into it. Okay. So you say that Jeremy McGrath is the GOAT.
Yes.
Right? But he's no longer racing.
Right.
Who is the best right now? Who is racing? Who is your favorite?
Okay, so a lot of people, there's a lot of drama going around.
Okay, so is this going to be a hot take?
Yes.
Okay,
so
let's hear it.
There's going to be a lot of people that will disagree with me.
Okay.
Okay, but as of right now, Jet Lawrence just won the championship.
Jet Lawrence.
Jet Lawrence just won the championship.
That's a name right there. Tell me a little bit about him.
So Jet Lawrence was first in 250s, absolutely dominated 250s.
Okay.
So then he switched over to 450 racing and Supercross, and in Supercross he just got 8 wins. 8 wins, and
that's pretty huge because there's not that many
I think
events.
there's only like 16, 17 rounds.
Okay, so that he won about half of them.
Right. So,
and was he still placing high even when he wasn't winning?
Oh yes, he never. I want to say I don't think he ever came in last in any of the races.
And then that's pretty good. I mean,
yeah,
no one wants to be in last. You always are aiming for the top. But I mean, if you're not at the bottom, you're a lot happier than the guy who is. Right. So you just said that he just won the championship, and we were talking about this morning. There was a lot of drama surrounding that because he also has a brother that races with him. Are they on the same team or are they on different teams?
They are on the same team.
All right, they are on the same teams. And what was his name?
Hunter Lawrence.
Hunter Lawrence. Now, comparing Jet to Hunter, is one of them obviously better?
Okay, so yes. If you look at their different styles of riding, you've got Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence. They're both brothers. Hunter Lawrence is actually older. He's the older brother.
Okay, so he's been doing this for a little bit longer?
I'd say they started at about the same time.
About the same time. Now, Jet Lawrence is a rookie this year.
Yes.
Am I correct with saying that? Is Hunter a rookie this year?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so now is this just due to them being in a new skill level, or is this just they are just now coming on the scene?
New skill level.
New skill level. Okay, and so Jet Lawrence beat Hunter. Obviously, how close was Hunter to Jet in that championship?
Okay, so I want to say Hunter Lawrence was in the top 10.
Okay.
But yes, Jet Lawrence is most definitely, I would say, a more better riding style than Hunter Lawrence. Hunter Lawrence still got some work to do because Hunter Lawrence is a true rookie. Jet Lawrence is a true rookie, but he's not acting like a rookie. So
okay.
Jet Lawrence is...
So you think that Hunter Lawrence has the capacity to be as good as Jet?
Most definitely.
He's just got to get comfortable.
He just got to get comfortable on the bike. He says it almost every race that he's just trying to learn the 450 more and more every day.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to pivot right into this. How hard is it to do motocross, supercross, FMX? Like what toll does it take on your body?
Man, it takes a big toll. As you know, I'm into motocross.
Absolutely.
I've been into many wrecks. Man, my body, it hurts. About as many wrecks as I had. Man, you've got to take breathing treatments. You've got to exercise all the time, nonstop, and obviously drink water and obviously those things. And Monster Energy motocross, supercross is very, very difficult.
Absolutely.
It takes a huge strain on your body. As y'all know, I mean, there's been multiple wrecks this year with Eli Tomac just coming back from Achilles injury. We've had we've had one racer this year break a couple of ribs. We've got another racer just shatter collarbones, and most of them have got concussions at least.
Right.
But yeah.
And so when you look at something like that, something that's so damaging, it's so hard because I mean, there's not a lot of people that get in and they get to this level, correct?
Correct.
So, what makes it worth it?
What makes it worth it? Well, man, most of these riders in Supercross, Motocross, they love racing. It's been their whole life, and everybody says, "Well, what age do you start?" Well, straight out the womb. I mean, that's when it starts.
Right.
That's when you start riding, man. I mean, it's you won't see a lot of people in racing just say, "Oh yeah, I just figured I start racing and start racing." It's not how
Right.
it goes,
It's they have the love, they have the passion.
Right. Yes.
And now prize pools, trophies, is that relatively big as well? Like, is money
Yes.
a big part of it?
Yes, it most definitely is. Talking about millions of dollars.
And so, talking about price again, is it expensive to keep a team like that running? Like, I know, for instance, in Formula One, like they're going through tires, and that's the same with Formula Drift. But especially in Formula One, they're spending millions just to design the car.
Right.
Then you wreck the car. That's another million on top of that. And so I know it might not be as expensive considering it is dirt bikes, but is it still constant cost, constant tires, fuel, changing the oil, stuff like that?
Most definitely. So after each race, they rebuild the whole dirt bike.
Every single race.
Every single race.
That's insane.
So, and also they don't just have one dirt bike. They have at least three. Each rider has at least 3 bikes.
Okay, and so is this kind of like they go into the weekend, if they wreck one, they've got a backup?
Of course.
Okay, and so I think that's good, because I think about something like Formula One, and they have the resources to get these cars rebuilt. But then I think of something like Formula Drift. If you crash and it's unrepairable, you're done for the weekend.
Right.
Like those people have one cars, and so that's one part that I admire about motorsport, I guess, is the aspect of being prepared.
Yes.
Okay, and so we're only down to 2 more questions. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more, and we'll be done.
Okay.
So I feel like just throughout us talking, I feel like you've already given plenty of reasons and answers to the question I'm about to ask you. But what makes motocross so awesome? Why is it such a loyal fan base? Why do people travel for these events? Why do people sit at these events? Why is it just so awesome?
Man, when motocross and supercross, man, it's we call most of the riders pilots, man, because they're up in the air, soaring like birds, throwing whips.
And it's adrenaline.
It's a oh my gosh, the adrenaline is crazy. It's at the start gate, your adrenaline is pumping.
Right.
And man, you're thinking about nothing. All you're thinking about is hole shot, hole shot, hole shot. Now, also, I will get the hole shot. Hole shot is basically the first one to make it to the first turn of the track. So that's the hole shot. But then again, I'm getting off track. Man, the adrenaline is amazing, man. And also, I mean, people love watching it. It's
sure.
I mean, like, man, people, you'll have huge wrecks, which that's never fun for the riders.
Right.
Usually for fans like me, it's not fun for the big fans, but for people that are just
because it can be scary.
It can be scary, but for people that are watching, let's say you got 2 goats, right? Let's say you have Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence in a battle for first place.
Right.
If they come into collision and wreck, that's going to be the story of the year.
Right. And
because I mean, it's so awesome, man. I mean, motocross, supercross, I dream of it, man. It's amazing. You stole the words right out of my mouth. Adrenaline, man. It gets the fans' adrenaline going at the start gate. It gets the riders, of course. It gets their coaches' adrenaline pumping, and it's just absolutely amazing.
Dude, that's awesome. And you talked about like the 2 top drivers, colliding in the middle of the race. And I think about I don't know if you watched my newest video, but at Formula Drift Atlanta just this past weekend, Matt Field and Adam LZ, they came into a really big contact. And they actually ruled in favor of Matt Field. And so I know that's comparing like apples to oranges, but I think of something like that and I'm like, that's insane. Like
yeah.
that was the talk of the weekend because they felt like the judges ruled it wrong, but also because of the physical crash. And so I definitely feel that there. And so that brings me on to my next question, which is, we have talked about the GOATs. We've talked about what is motocross, supercross, FMX, and we've talked about why it's so awesome, and I hope that these people that are watching are absolutely enjoying this. And so it brings me to my final question, which is what is to come up in motocross? Like, to these people that want to get into motocross, what is next? What can they watch? What can they look forward to?
Okay. Oh wow. So, Pro Motocross Outdoors is happening next week, I believe. You'll have all the races from Supercross really in there,
Okay.
racing, and so the talk is, what is Jet Lawrence going to do? Is
Okay,
Jet
so
Lawrence going to choke on this new? Well, he's done this before, but is he going to choke after just leaving Supercross? Because he's done Supercross all year.
right,
He hasn't touched the motocross track. So what's going to happen? Of course, they're practicing, but what's going to happen is Eli Tomac going to come in clutch? Is Jet Lawrence going to come in clutch? Or let's say even we'll go with even Chase Sexton. Chase Sexton is doing great now. Chase Sexton, number 23, he'll be in number 4 in motocross. He'll be number 4 in motocross. But how is he going to do?
right.
How is that going to go?
And so when it comes to things like that, are the dirt bikes at kind of like an even advantage? Like, do they always have like a minimum power limit and kind of like a maximum power limit?
So between each dirt bike, there is, let's say this one may have 2 or 3 more horsepower than this one.
Right.
But also, the thing I love about motocross, supercross again, is you have to be a good driver. So a lot of it is based off the driver.
Right.
It is so because of course if you have a dirt bike going there with 10 more horsepower, they're probably not going to let you race because
Right.
it's totally unfair. But yeah, man, it's the dirt bikes are very similar. Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so, for instance, me, like, I enjoy watching you do it, and that's one thing that y'all are going to have to look at, is Landan does race, and Landan does have you have a Honda CRF, right?
I have a Honda CRF 250R.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll have to see if maybe we can insert a picture here. But how does someone like me, like at my age, at my experience, like if I wanted to get into motocross, what am I doing?
Okay, so if you want to get into motocross, obviously first you need to buy you a dirt bike.
Okay.
And also, man, come ride with me. Come go find a motocross rider that loves to ride, or even someone that just loves to ride, in general, and start riding with them. I wouldn't say, you can go to motocross tracks, but I wouldn't say go straight to jumping. I wouldn't say go straight to ripping it up out there.
Right, so you definitely think that it is a step of progression, but would you say it's easy to start?
Is it easy to start? So, as long as you know how to use a clutch, as long as you know how to, we'll have to. There's an inside joke.
I was going to say we laugh because the first time I got on Landon's CRF, I was not experienced, and I was way on the gas, let off the clutch, and threw myself straight off, and so that's why we laughed there. But you think if someone can figure out how to ride it from there, if they want to get big, they can move up as long as they are good.
Oh yes, and even if they're not too good at riding dirt bikes, they can always practice. I will say, practice does not make perfect, Ashton.
Really?
Practice makes you better. Doesn't make you perfect.
That's good.
So, more practice, the more better you can achieve things.
Absolutely. And so we talked about the events coming up next week. So for the person that doesn't want to ride the dirt bike, for the person that just wants to watch it, is it an easy fan base to get into? Where do I look? Like, do I look at teams? Do I look at drivers? What can I do to get into watching motocross?
Of course. So basically, watch it. They actually show it on Peacock. They can show highlights of it on YouTube, obviously on TV, and other things. If you want to be there, they've got tickets. They sell tickets.
I was about to say, and we talked about that, and you said it doesn't necessarily break the bank. Like, if you can find an event to go to, and you save up a few $100s, you and a buddy can go and you can have a great time.
You can have a great time.
And I think that's what I like so much about Formula Drift is you don't have to spend a lot to go.
Right.
And the fan base is awesome. And so, dude, I'm intrigued. I'm ready for what starts next week, the Outdoor Supercross. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And honestly, I'm looking forward to see what Jet Lawrence does.
I'm so excited. And if y'all haven't known yet, my favorite rider right now is Jet Lawrence because I ride a Honda. He's a Honda. I love Honda. He's on the Honda team, of course.
Okay.
And also, man, I've been watching him since the beginning. I've watched him growing up so much, and to now,
and that's really what builds it.
exactly.
Yeah, you know, and I'm gonna make this one more comparison, and then we'll leave it off here. But I think of Jet Lawrence, even though he's a rookie, I think of Max Verstappen in F1. I think of someone like James Dean in Formula Drift. Even though neither Max or James are rookies, you know, like they're new. Like I think of James Dean being at RTR in a new car. I think of Max being in the new car every year. I think of the gap that they hold, and it excites me. And so, not to be a bandwagon, but I think I'm definitely gonna pull the Jet Lawrence with you. And dude, thank you so much for being here. I truly enjoyed it, and I am so excited for Supercross.
I am too, and I'm also excited for what's next to come in Formula One.
Dude, yes sir.
So it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have a great time.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and we'll see you in the very next video.